since you're
Replacing
coming on
Ward
the show.
with me?
Oh, I think about that all the time.
Constantly.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
constantly.
That is a 100% of the time
Okay.
thought.
And we are on live on Facebook, by the way. I
Hello.
should point that out. Just go over to the SXM Canada Talks Facebook page, and you can see us live right now. And we'll tweet that out later as well for those of you that stream us after the fact.
But what I realized was that the line between a person and a character is the most blurred in wrestling.
Mhm.
Because with actors, I mean, you could, sure, you maybe look at Johnny Depp and think Jack Sparrow, but he's also played a million other roles. But with wrestling, it's like, you're that guy.
Yeah, I'm just, in real life, I'm a jerk 24/7.
Are you?
No, it's
I'm not gonna lie.
I'll let
Like
you
jerks, I
finish.
got
I'll let you
excited.
finish.
No, but it's one of those things because I'm so excited that you're coming in, but then at the same time I'm like, oh, I hated him for so long,
Yeah.
but also I like him, but I
Yeah.
hate him.
It's a funny thing, right? Because it's like sometimes, when you're, like you said, when you're watching Johnny Depp and he's playing Jack Sparrow, you don't walk up and be like, oh, Jack Sparrow, how are you? Like, maybe you do, but like most people don't. But yeah, sometimes people come up and they will talk to you, like kind of treat you almost like they see you perform on TV, or like they say they want to hate you, but they're meeting you, so it's like, and they realize you're not that character that you're
Yeah.
portraying on TV. So
Yeah.
there is a fine line.
Do you ever get confused?
I'm confused right now.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
sometimes like, who am I?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know who I am anymore.
Sometimes I just cry.
Well, but let's be honest. Wrestling is I don't know that there is another career in this world that is so kind of 24/7, and that is so, especially WWE, when you've got 2 shows a week that are televised and live shows like almost every day and stuff. How do you manage to live a regular life when you're in that scene?
It's hard, it really is, because there's no off season either, like another professional sporting organization where you would have an off season. But it's hard sometimes, because you're gone, 250 or more days a year, and sometimes when there's overseas tours and things like that, sometimes you're gone 2-3 weeks at a time. It makes things hard, but when you're home, you just have to make the most of the time that you are home, if you have family and things like that. So, and I think it's also, people you surround yourself with, and if you, I always try to keep the people that I was close with growing up close to me, so it was, and still treated me like the same guy that I was. I think that's important also, so you have that to go back to where you can just call your buddy and whatever it is. I always just try to keep it as regular as I could when I wasn't in the bubble,
Are there like cliques behind the scenes? So like when you guys are finished one show, going to the next show, is it like these wrestlers they're all friends? And
Yeah, I mean, there's
friends?
definitely, it's a professional atmosphere, right? But there are like groups of guys that travel together, all the time. And there are obviously people that you gravitate more towards or whatever. But for the most part, it's a professional atmosphere, and everybody gets along.
We've always talked about the similarities between, Al and I are both stand-up comics.
So
And
mine.
yeah. Well, but a lot of wrestlers do go into stand-up comedy.
Yeah,
You know.
I know Dolph Ziggler is doing stand-up comedy. I think he's doing pretty well.
We've had him on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mick Foley, of course, has
Yeah.
done a good bit of it.
Uh-huh.
But what we say is that the industries are so very similar.
Right.
Because
Well, ours has way less working out though. Like I skip the gym a lot, and no one says anything.
But it also makes for good material.
This is true.
it can.
Yeah.
But I mean, like before, listeners know this, before we got this show,
Right.
I was on the road 40. And we always talk about the similarities of the two, because you've got, the minor leagues of wrestling
Right.
doing it in gymnasiums, anywhere that people will put together a show, and then,
But also very similar in the sense that when you're doing a live show in front of a live audience, each audience is going to be different in a different city or town that you're in. So
Yep.
you might have to change up something that you're doing because something that works in one town might not work in the next one. So you have to have that ability to ad-lib and to do something to garner the reaction that you're looking for. Because that's basically the same thing. You're working for a reaction, right? So you do what you have.
the heel. I can't go on stage and be like, I hate the people of Dubuque, Iowa.
Well, you could.
I
but
could.
It wouldn't go well. But
Whereas, like, you could do that and be like, yeah, all right, this is his character.
Yeah,
This
right.
is good. You
it's
don't,
true.
you don't see
In
the heel
wrestling,
character.
villains are equally as beloved as good
Love to
guys.
hate 'em.
Right? Yeah. Sometimes I love to just love them.
Do you have a
Um,
preference? Do you like playing
yeah,
the heel?
I always liked. I always had a very good gift of making people hate me. So I always liked
Yeah,
to
you
kind
did.
of to play the bad guy a little bit better. So it was more fun, you know.
Prefer short hair or long hair?
Short hair.
Yeah,
Yeah, long hair was getting a little much. That's why I had to get rid of it. It was hard to take care of.
It's such a guy thing. Guys can't wait to grow the hair out, and when you finally grow it, you get past the awkward phase, you get that long hair.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, that hair's
You're
beautiful and all
tan.
that. Couple of years, and you're like, what did I do this
It
for?
took me 7 years to grow my hair like this, and now I realize I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think short hair really suits you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Now, listen, I don't think I'm being overly revealing when I do say that storylines are scripted sometimes in wrestling.
Yeah, sure.
But let me ask you this: when people get belts, and I mean, you know, you've been a world heavyweight champion. Do you know in advance? Like, is there any part where obviously it feels good because
Right.
then the whole audience is like, oh, he's the champion. But is that something? How do you end up being the champion? And does it feel kind of when you find out, like, guess what, you're gonna win? Do you feel
Feels
special?
Good. Yeah, no, it feels good. I mean, because it's like anything, right? That's the spot where it's usually looked at as the main spot on the card, on the
Yeah.
show. You're basically
You're the
You're
headliner.
the face of whatever show, whether it's like SmackDown or Raw or whatever it is, or NXT. It's so yeah, it's important, and you kind of feel a little bit of weight on your shoulders because you're 9 times out of 10 you're on live events. You're in the main event match. You're in usually 2 or 3 segments of the show, so there's a lot to do. Whether it's an interview out in front of the crowd or a promo, something backstage, and then like a match. There's always a lot to do. So there's a lot of responsibility that goes along with it, and yeah, you're definitely, when you hear those words, it's exciting because that's what you work for. And when you get into the business, that's what you dream of. You always strive to try to go as far as you can and to be the best, and that's kind of recognizing that.
Do you get to keep the belt?
No, it's weird. I have a couple replicas, but I don't have the exact one that I won.
See, I
I feel like we should give you the belt.
yeah, I read somewhere someone was talking about. Oh, I wish I knew who it was. A wrestler going through the airport, and they had the belt with them in their carry-on, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I always thought it was a prop that just
No,
you
have
got
to carry-
handed before
no,
the show.
Well, there's one that you carry with you because you carry with your own gear and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you never wanted to check it in case your bags get lost.
Yeah.
And you guess we
Yeah.
don't have your title anymore. But here's the thing that I always found whenever I had a title or a championship, whenever we went through security, of course it's going to get. They're going
Beep,
to see
beep,
something.
beep.
They're going to see something, and of course it's inevitably going to come out the other side. They're going to open the bag. 9 times out of 10, you would see somebody pick the title up and they'd be holding it up like holding
Yeah.
it, and then it's like passing it over to the next guy. It's like, dude, come on, I need to kind of catch a plane here. So you'd find that happening a lot.
Yeah, people do that with my sports jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes through the conveyor belt, and they go, look at this, it's
Yeah.
got suede patches on the elbows.
Yeah, it's
No.
good luck.
Not as much.
Yeah, it's not as good.
We are speaking to Jay Rizzo, Christian from WWE, 2-time World Heavyweight Champion. Tell us about Edge and Christian's show that totally reeks of awesomeness.
Yeah, so it's basically a sketch comedy show that's on the WWE Network, and when we got approached to do it, it was something we were really excited about. So it was something we hadn't done before. It was like a whole new adventure for us to kind of develop this show, and with the WWE Network, there's a lot of great content on there. There's a lot of like magazine type shows and kind of serious interview type shows, but there wasn't anything kind of in this kind of genre, the comedy kind of funny. So we figured there's such a library there on the WWE Network to work with. Let's just kind of do this sketch comedy show and see what happens. And it's basically we developed it specifically for wrestling fans, for WWE fans that subscribe to the network, and it was really well received. We had a lot of fun doing it. Really hit its stride after the first few episodes, and so it looks like it's a good possibility we're in a second season. So it's pretty exciting.
Are you and Edge legit real life best friends?
Yeah, we met in 6th grade.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We did.
It's the cutest thing I've
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
No, I was away that day.
Oh, that's right.
Ford's a jerk.
She was so angry about
As
that.
if these things happen. That's amazing because when you think about it, the odds, I mean, of getting to the pinnacle in wrestling, which is the WWE at this point, for the two of you who have been friends since you were so young,
Two Canadians.
Right.
to both get there.
Well, the thing is too, and like we used to sit around and talk about how we were going to be the tag team champions, right? Like we would literally sit around, okay, well, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to get into wrestling. And Adam was he was a really good artist, so he would draw us in like tag team outfits and names, and this is how we were going to look, and this is what our name was going to be, and all that sort of thing. And we had no idea how we were going to get in. And we actually, the funny thing is when I walked up here today, I trained in this building.
Shut
Our
up.
wrestling gym was in this building.
Yeah.
And like in the dead of winter, we used to have to go across the street and run around that Lamport Stadium, like in the dead of winter, like before we started the stuff in the ring. But back in the day, it was like a rundown, brick
Yeah.
building with like something out of a Rocky movie. And so
Did you ever see the movie The Fly with Jeff Goldblum?
no,
Okay.
oh,
It
back
was,
then, this
yeah.
film here too.
it was also
Yeah.
filmed in this building.
Wow.
This building
Yeah.
has been a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was. What were we talking about? I lost track.
Oh,
You
you
used
guys
to train right here. You
and
guys grew up.
you guys were super best friends.
Oh yeah,
who
how we got in. So
got to the pinnacle.
Yeah, and then it was like, it's just the weirdest thing, and just fast forwarding, we wrestled in small shows all over Canada, the U.S., even in Japan a little bit, and then he ended up getting signed to a developmental deal with WWE me about a year later, and then we just got basically paired together because they already knew that we were best friends and figured that we would probably have some chemistry on camera. We ended up becoming Edge and Christian, this tag team that we always said we were going to be. Not those were the names that we had picked, but we went on to be 7-time World Tag Team Champions, which was huge.
Wow.
And I don't think anybody's beat that record yet. I think it still stands as the most titles for a tag team in WWE.
I want to cry a bit.
Go ahead.
I love that story so much. I can't because I have contacts in. They'll just fall right out. It'll be awful. But
Who was like, no, you grow your hair out first. No, you.
He actually always had long hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
he is way better short hair.
he looks good with. I think I mean, he's growing it long again though, actually.
Don't.
So
If you
But,
could just tell him. No, don't tell him that. Listen,
I'll
you
tell
should be
him.
free
I'm
in the
gonna
world. But when
Oh.
again, listen. Sometimes I like long hair, but I find it. There's times where then a guy who has long hair cuts it, and I go, oh, I didn't know it was gonna look like that short. Yeah, keep it. And I have to say, I feel like you both are
Oh, thanks.
short hair guys.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel like I'm a short hair guy too.
Mm.
Yeah. And like I was like when I was training in this building to wrestle, I actually had a shaved head, and I was like, when I came in, everybody had long hair, and I was like, man, I guess wrestlers have to have long hair. I guess I better start growing it, and that's how I started growing my hair. I never had long hair before that, so that's kind of how it started.
That's great.
Yeah.
There was a time when
Yeah.
it seemed everyone had the long
Yeah.
hair, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, Jay's in town doing the Party That Reeks of Awesomeness right here at 15 York Street.
At Real Sports, right after NXT Takeover, which is going to be a great show on
Yeah.
Saturday night at the Air Canada Center. You can walk across to Real Sports, hang out with me, The Miz, and Sami Zayn. We signing autographs, taking pictures, answer questions. We'll do whatever. We'll hang out. Have a
Open
good
bar, whores, duvers. It's going to be
Yeah.
great.
Open bar.
Yeah, it says open bar. And hors d'oeuvres.
It's amazing. NXT has really exploded.
Yeah,
When it
it's been
first started, I think people were like, "Yeah, NXT. It's the." But all of a sudden,
What's
it became-
NXT for the listeners that don't know?
It was.
And the co-host.
NXT is basically the developmental system for basically for Raw and SmackDown. There's a huge performance center in Orlando where the men and women, the future superstars of WWE, current superstars of NXT train at. So the shows are just there. The show is on WWE Network as well weekly, and whenever there's a big pay-per-view like this one here, Survivor Series, or like Royal Rumble or WrestleMania or SummerSlam, they always have a big NXT event in the same arena on I think the Saturday before.
And then when it started, it was just like an online show. And then when we still had the Score here, we used to air it on the Score.
I remember it airing on the Score.
Yeah, and it was interesting because it was just sort of like that online. Oh, see the faces of tomorrow, but then all of a sudden, I mean, they started getting really great storylines in NXT, and they had a really great. And then everyone was like, well, Well, now we have to also watch NXT every week,
Well,
and
yeah,
it's
the thing is,
amazing.
Actually, to be fair, it's not even really like a developmental system.
It's become its own thing.
It's become its own brand.
Yeah.
So it's actually like 3 brands, you know.
That's kick-ass.
Yeah.
Well, and what's neat about that is I think a lot of people don't realize that wrestling has to kind of have a minor league, so to speak. And I don't mean that in a negative term, but I mean it has to have a training camp. It has to, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people think, oh yeah, you know, you go off and you train in a gym for a while, then the WWE comes calling, and I go, oh man, it could take years of,
Well, I'll tell you.
of learning.
Well, I'll tell you from experience, because there was nothing like that when I came in, and there's a real deer in headlights effect when you walk out there on that stage live on Raw for the first time. It's unlike anything you've ever done in your life, and it's there's a lot of pressure there. So to have that, even if it's on a smaller scale or whatever it is, to get that experience, so you're well prepared by the time the first time you step out on Raw or SmackDown, and that's basically how it helps out.
In Atlanta for a long time, there was Power Plant. Was the No, but it was used by the WCW,
Right, yeah.
and you know, but there wasn't anything like NXT, right? So
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
people would they might be in small regional wrestling groups still, but then one day the show came calling, so to speak, and you were
It's.
thrown to the wolves.
I have been to every kind of wrestling show. There, like just local, small groups that are putting on their own shows once a month, all the way up to Raw.
From my high school, like my rival high school, what's his name? Who's I don't know why I draw a blank on his name. Sting is from that whole area there.
I'm the worst sometimes with people's real names.
Yeah. But
I'm
in
not-
Canada,
I'm not the one that-
Southeast and Canada wrestlers.
What?
I said a lot of great wrestlers. They come out of the Southeast,
I'm
United
actually
States, and then
texting Adam right now. Do you want me to say hi?
Canada. Please.
Obviously.
That's kick-ass. You guys have been friends
Yeah.
that
No,
long.
I love that story so much.
And,
Here's
and
funny-
co-workers at the same time.
Yeah, another thing we talk about too is that we had daughters within like 8 weeks of each other. So we both have 3-year-old daughters.
So
Aw.
they were gonna be
Yeah.
super best friends.
Yeah, they're good. They already are. You
And
should see
they're-
them. I'll show you the picture.
That's
My
hilarious.
best friend always, when she got pregnant, she was like, "You should get pregnant," but I should point out she got knocked up when we were 22, and I was like, "No, absolutely not."
I got a 3-year-old daughter as well.
Oh, do you?
Well, she'll be 3 in a month.
Yeah, my daughter just turned 3 in October.
It's a fun age.
Yeah, it's great. I keep letting us look at her. I don't want her to get any bigger. It's like just.
I know, it's a really fun age.
And like and she's just like such a little daddy's girl right now too. It's like like so excited when she sees you and runs up and hang. Like I had her at the playground the other day and she was just up with me. She goes, "Hi, Daddy, hi." And I look up and she just wanted to wave to me.
All right, we are live with Jay Riso. You may know him as Christian from the WWE. We're also live on Facebook Live. Just go over to the SXM Canada Talks Facebook page. We've already tweeted it out. Go there and click on the link, and you can watch us live. We're talking about wrestling.
Oh man, were we live through the break?
No. We took
Oh,
off
I
during
was,
the break.
I was gonna say. I'm gonna get a call from my best friend in a minute.
We just went live again.
Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
Jay is promoting Edge and Christian's show that totally reeks of awesomeness, which you can see on the WWE Network, doing a live show here in Toronto
Tomorrow night.
tomorrow night.
Real Sports right after NXT Takeover.
That's over on York Street,
Yep.
downtown.
Sami Zayn and The Miz will be there too.
Where do you live now?
Oh, the Miz. Love hate relationship. With
You know,
that
people
guy.
tell me I look like The Miz. It's not a joke. People,
I can see it.
I'm
Vaguely,
serious.
vaguely.
I'm serious. I used to get that all the time when I was on the road.
Yeah.
People would come up to me and be like, you look kind of like this wrestler named The Miz. I'm like, okay. And then I knew who he, when I finally saw who he was, I went, oh, okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Where do you live now?
I live in Florida.
Yeah, whereabouts?
Everybody.
Tampa. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Tampa.
Well, a lot of professional wrestlers live in Florida.
Right.
And
Right.
Tampa.
It's warm.
Well, yeah, that's good. Right? Canada, boo! Am
Yeah.
I right?
No, not boo.
A
It's
bit,
not, well, This
though.
weather's not been.
This is
weather-
fine.
Yeah, it's great today.
But in February, it's
maybe,
going to be don't come
Maybe
here.
I'll say boo in February.
Yeah.
Right now I'm saying yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But No, it's one of those things. You know, it's with me. The airport was good, traveling a lot, weather's great. So just made it easier working mainly in the U.S. So.
Do you actually are you still cool with all the travel, or is it worn you down yet?
It's tiring, you know, but I don't travel like I had been traveling. So it's nice to stay home. I have a 3-year-old now that we discussed off air, but so it's nice to not miss anything that's going on with her either, and kind of be there for everything. So it's pretty cool. I got to take her to her first day of preschool, which was pretty awesome. So we're not sure.
Oh, that's nice. Because I mean, being on the road, it must be really hard. You miss so much,
Right?
And especially when they're little, they change so fast.
Yeah.
That it's hard. That's a heartbreaker. I feel.
Yeah, it can be tough.
That's a choice that's awful.
I noticed you go away, and you come back and there's whole new sentences that weren't there, right?
Yeah, even now, if I'm just gone for a few days, I come back and something's completely different. So
like it's like you leave town and she's like, Dada, please, And then you go away for a couple of weeks, you come back, she's like,
Hey, Dad,
I was
what's up?
eating dinner, and I was thinking about maybe having some dessert after, Father. What do you think?
Yeah. Another crazy story is Edge, we were talking about earlier. He and I, he also has 2 daughters now, but his oldest daughter and my daughter are born within 8 weeks of each other, so they're already like best buddies. So they're like the little female version of Edge and Christian, which is pretty funny.
Oh my God! If they grow up to be tag team champions, are you gonna love it or will you kind of hate it? Like, what if they grow up and want to be wrestlers? Will you be like,
I'll be
do
cool
it?
I'll be cool with whatever she wants to do. I'll definitely support her, and I have this kid with crazy dreams, so I know how it is. So I would definitely support her in anything she wanted to do.
Oh my God! Are you and Edge next door neighbors?
We're not.
Can we make? Oh my God! Can we make a reality show? Honestly, it's for all the chicks that love wrestling. I think we all love the idea of you guys being next door neighbors and having a reality show about how you're best friends and your kids are best friends.
That's a pretty good concept, actually.
I'm not. I would be a every week watcher.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more interesting if you guys started a family band.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know what I mean? And you all
like
toured
the Rankin
around.
Family.
Yes.
I'm not against that.
And you all toured
That's a
around.
good Canadian reference right there. Too.
Yeah, I know. That's our CanCon for this episode.
You toured around the bus together, and you and Edge kind of managed the band.
Oh no.
No.
Yo, so just the kids play? No, everyone's in.
Everyone's in.
Okay,
Everyone is
all right,
in.
all right. So you guys are all playing.
Everyone has a role.
The kids play up front. They sing.
Right.
And you're playing the instruments in the back or whatever.
Yeah, doing little background vocals.
Oh yeah. You a singer?
Not a good one.
Okay, but you're trying, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Do you play any instruments?
No.
Okay, none at all.
No.
Never. Interesting.
I know how to play the Beverly Hills Cop theme song on piano.
Excellent.
That's sweet.
That's got me kicked out of a lot of instrument stores.
Oh, really? They don't like that?
I would just do it to annoy people. I go up and I play it on every single piano, and they'd be like, "Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the store." Like, okay.
That's kind of like playing Stairway to Heaven on a guitar in a music store. People are like, all right, no more Axel F. So, one thing, we've interviewed so many wrestlers on here, and I'll tell you one thing that is getting better with time is the medical aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked to, we talked to, Roddy Piper, the late Roddy Piper on our program, and he said that, with each new generation of wrestlers, there's more knowledge about the health aspects of it that they didn't know 30 years ago, and everything. Do you think that's getting better? The way wrestlers take care of themselves?
Yeah, I think so. I think guys are better prepared. I think as far as nutrition and those sorts of things, and obviously with the company growing the way that it has, there's doctors and trainers that travel with the company also. So.
There's a lot fewer injuries now, it seems.
Well, there's still a lot of injuries, but they're just, it's the nature. It's like any sport. It's going to happen.
Sure. I think, I mean, I made the well noise because I think for sure there is a lot more knowledge. And like we've also talked to Jake the Snake, who partied so hard, and I think there's a change in the approach. I also, what always concerns me is it's very hard to take time off in wrestling because, as you said, there's no off season.
Right.
There's no, and if you're front and center, you want to stay front and center. And my concern is always are athletes sometimes playing through the pain.
Sometimes, You know, I think it's like that with, like I said, not just with wrestling. I think it's with many sports. I think people are working through nagging injuries or whatever. But you see a lot more guys now too in their off days. You know, getting like massages or chiropractic work, whatever it is. They're doing other stuff also to stay as healthy as they can.
Okay. I just worry. I worry about you guys.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, thanks.
You know, safety first.
Well, I mean, but it's true. You can get injured. It doesn't even have to be getting injured because you jumped off a turnbuckle onto somebody.
Right.
You get injured lifting weights wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, people have. I mean, you suffered a shoulder injury at one point.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just wear and tear from years of doing what we do, you know, and just kind of went one day, tore, and I had to get surgery and missed a few months, and yeah, that was it.
The shoulders and the knees.
Yeah.
That's, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not even for wrestlers. That's just even if you're
Yeah.
a guy that lifts weights regularly.
Right.
The thing they're always like, it's going to be your shoulders and it's going to be your knees, right?
Yeah.
As you get older,
Right.
you know, it's just that. Yeah. The human body is so funny to me because it's so resilient and yet so fragile
Right.
at the same
Yeah.
time.
It's good weird healing, self-healing, you know, it's when it gets injured, how you know, other parts of your body will start to pick up the slack and kind of compensate for the injury type thing, you know, and when you're doing physical therapy and stuff like that for a shoulder, you really, you know, figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
Do you have a wrestler right now that you really enjoy watching? Like, for instance, I have, out of everyone I know that is a comedian, it always changes, but there's always someone where I go, oh man, I love watching that person.
Yeah,
right
actually,
now.
right now, there's so many good young superstars on the show, but my favorite thing on the show right now is Jericho, like with his
Nice.
with the list and the scarf, and you know,
That guy.
stupid idiots. They call, you know, it's he's kind of reinvented himself again, and I've gotten a kick out of watching him here the last few months.
Yeah, he's so good.
Over on Twitter, listener Dan says he'd really like a reality show if you all lived down the street from Diamond Dallas Page.
Then it's just yoga
Yeah, that's
all
me.
the time. Don't get me wrong, DDP is doing some amazing work, but I feel like he would just come over and be like, guys,
You don't have yoga tights. on.
stretch.
I-
Stretch, guys.
What if you all? I want a show where you all live in the same apartment building, right? Like same
Oh my
high
God,
rise.
why don't we have like a surreal life but with WWE stars?
Hey, see,
That would be.
But
yeah,
they had that on WWE Network.
Did
It was called Legends House.
really.
Yeah.
How did
How
you
do
not
I not know
this?
about this?
Yeah, it's
I
totally
don't
up
have
Al's.
cable at all, so I don't have the WWE anymore.
Oh, it's
Because my life is terrible.
oh, okay.
I watched a documentary about Glow, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Remember that in the
Yeah.
early
Yeah, I
80s?
do remember, but I didn't see the.
Or the mid-eighties?
that's it.
The documentary was funny because I didn't realize that's how they lived. That all those women that were in Glow were all hired. They did that show, and they all lived. They were put up in apartments.
I didn't know that.
And they all lived in the same building?
Yes,
That's fun.
and they all lived together and they roomed together, like you know,
Wow.
and that was so interesting that's how that entire thing functioned.
I'll
And
have
in
to
the
watch it
documentary,
again
they
and
all
see
get
it.
together in a reunion and talk about how it was done like a sorority house almost, and they filmed a TV show by day,
Crazy.
and they
That's
all shared a apartment building by night or whatever.
Huh.
So maybe the McMahons need to do that. Buy a huge skyscraper, a high rise, and just everybody you all live here now.
I'm sure all the wrestlers would be stoked about that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to dedicate more of our time in life to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
You go
Don't
next.
see you enough on the road.
Yeah, you go over to the Miz's. You knock. Hey, do you got any butter? I'm cooking and I ran out of butter. It could happen.
It could happen. Should it, though, is the question.
Let me ask you this. And we are speaking to Jay Riso. You may know him as Christian from the WWE. Of course, Edge and Christian's show that totally reeks of awesomeness. That was what we were going to call this show, by the way,
Yeah.
at one
well,
point. We settled
So
on Warden
close.
Out.
Yeah.
We settled on Warden Out.
I know. Well, we heard you were going to do that, so we kind of
You got in there
got it out
first.
there first.
Yeah,
before
yeah.
just we're like,
Very
hey,
sneaky.
catching rumors here. This is happening, so let's get it out there.
Well, you can see it on the WWE Network, and you can also see it right here tomorrow night at Real Sports, 15 York Street, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Open bars, hors d'oeuvres, and more.
Right, with the Miz and Sami Zayn right after NXT Takeover, so it's going to be a great night to come hang out.
It's going to be
It's a big weekend here
a
in
big
Toronto.
weekend for wrestling here in town.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing Raw on Monday. Aren't they doing Raw on Monday here?
3 big nights in the
Yeah.
in the sun,
Survivor Series Sunday and Raw on Monday. How does this work? Because the Miz and Sammy are fighting
Yeah.
at Survivor Series. So then, are they going? First of all, this party is the night before. How can they stay up till 2 a.m. the
I
day
don't know if
before
they'll
that?
be. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not there.
It says 10 to 2.
It's not
Okay,
his.
wait. Tell them
It's
I'm
not
concerned.
his turn to watch them.
Tell them I'm concerned. I do. Well, listen. Listen. My number one concern is that all the beautiful gentlemen of wrestling stay healthy.
Yeah, that's what you're making.
With it is.
Hmm? I think
Uh,
it's that they stay beautiful.
I said that they stay healthy.
Yeah, but I think it's that you want them to stay beautiful.
Well, yeah, but as long as beauty comes from being healthy and well, or something,
Not this guy.
or muscles, whatever. Anyway, is that weird? Like they're gonna hang out and be friends, but then the next day
Who
they're
said
like,
they're gonna hang out?
Yeah,
well,
Yeah.
okay.
they're going to be on
So they're
opposite
gonna be
sides of
separate
the
channels.
bar.
I don't. Yeah. I don't know. But we'll keep them apart. Don't worry.
They're going to be
Okay.
like us when we make
Yeah.
public appearances.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So one of them's just gonna hide in the corner,
Yeah,
and that would be like me.
yeah. And people are like, "Where's your co-host?" And you're like, "I don't really like him."
Yeah.
Like
I'd be
that.
like, can I go yet? That's how I am.
Well, I mean, what do you? I mean, you host this show. I mean, you do tons of media. You know, what do you do when you get some downtime? It's not all working out and thinking wrestling. I mean, like,
Well, lately it's like my daughter like runs my life.
Yeah.
So when I'm
Okay,
not
she
doing
goes
that,
to
it's like-
bed. You're watching Netflix. What are you watching?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not watching Netflix. Well, yeah, I do. Well, when I like Orange Is the New Black, I like that show.
There you go.
It's a really
But
good
you
show.
know, I'll watch. You know,
Do you have a
watch-
hobby?
Watch some hockey. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy like running. This is a little hobby. Of mine.
That's your
Yeah,
hobby?
I like to just put my headphones on and just get away for a little bit.
Okay,
Seriously.
okay, no.
I don't
Yeah.
think running is a hobby,
It is for
though.
me.
Okay.
Sure, absolutely, because you know, I mean, it helps you stay fit, but you have other ways
Athletes,
to stay fit.
honestly, it's just, you know what?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
My
I
hobby is
glue-
going for a nice
I glue,
job.
popsicle stick houses and animals.
Okay, see, that's a sweet
There
hobby.
you go.
Yeah.
That's a legit hobby. A hobby
Yeah.
is something you can do in front of the TV.
But I get it. I get it because that's probably your escapism,
I did
the
like
running
it.
with
I,
the music.
I was doing a lot of video gaming and stuff like that. It was a good hobby of mine until I had my daughter, and then there was just no time
Yeah.
to game at all. So
I'm glad you said it.
Yeah.
Someone gave. There was a clearance around the corner. I've just got an Xbox 360. I don't even have the newest
same,
thing.
I'm same way. Same thing.
And I played like the stealth games, like Hitman and things like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I like.
And somebody. My wife, the shoppers around the
Some
corner
lady.
did a clearance,
Yeah.
and they cleared out all these games for $5, and there were some there like Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
that I knew I would like that I'd never bought, and she just bought those for me like a couple of months
that's
ago.
great.
And the other day she's like, "You've been playing?" I'm like,
No, yeah.
"There's a reason I didn't buy this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Yeah, there's no time.
The time changes.
Yeah.
When I meet my other friends and their parents, they're like, "Yeah, I've been playing a game." I'm like, "Where do you possibly get
Yeah.
that time and have a career?"
Exactly. Maybe that's the thing.
Get rid of the career,
Right.
ditch the career, and then you can play more games.
Gaming can be a career.
Listen, you guys chose to have kids, all right? So you made your choice.
Yeah.
I can game all I want.
You can.
All right.
I can't because I can't. You know what? All I want is the NES Classic Edition, and they're sold out in North America.
What is that?
Did you hear about that?
The NES Classic Edition.
What is that?
It's it looks like the old school Nintendo,
Oh,
and
really?
it's got 30 old school Nintendo
And you
games.
can't get it anywhere.
It was released on November 13th, sold out immediately. You can't get them anywhere.
North America wide is sold out.
Yeah,
That's insane.
and
Check
all
it
I
out.
want to do is play these classic NES games, and
That's amazing.
It's a plug and play, right?
So there's actually you don't actually put the game in and push
No.
it down like
no,
you used to.
there's
No,
30
it just
games
looks like
in
that.
it, and it looks like the classic NES, but it fits
and then
in
it
the
comes
palm
with
of
the
your hand.
classic
Oh wow, it's really
controllers.
cool actually.
And it's got 30 classic games in it, and we talked about it
That's
on
the
this
kind
show.
of gaming I do. I don't
Yeah.
do stealth.
We talked about it on this show, and we were like,
First-person shooter.
Yeah.
"Oh, that sounds neat. We should get that." We had no idea that everyone was thinking the same thing,
Yeah.
and they released it, and it sold out within minutes
People-
across North
Yeah.
America.
People lined up at 5 in the morning.
It's crazy.
And it's only, what is it like? It was like $70,
Huh.
Yeah.
$75 or something like that. Now people are auctioning them off for $300 online.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so
The point is, your life is better than mine, Christian.
the
Christian
party.
J. I don't know. What do people call you?
Call
Do I
me.
call you Jay? Do I
And you
call you
call me whatever you
Christian?
want.
I mean, I've just known you as Christian for so
You
long,
call me Christian.
but not in real life.
Yeah.
But you know, so this is where the line gets blurred.
What do you think you should call me?
I'm gonna call you Christian J.
There you go.
I'm just gonna combine them both.
I'm gonna call you sir. The party that totally reeks of awesomeness, you can see on the WWE Network, and you can see it right here tomorrow night, that's Saturday, 15 York Street at Real Sports, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. You got the Survivor Series. You got Raw right here in town. It's
This is the place to be if
It's
you're a
the place to be.
WWE fan.
Will you come back and hang out with us again in the future?
Do I have to answer now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, good.
You have to commit now. Yeah.
Where can people find you online?
They can find me at my Twitter is at Christian4Peeps, the number 4, and find me there.
Excellent. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we'll be back to check in with Jamie Sturgeon right after this. You're listening to Ward and Al on